All right, guys, we are halfway through 2024. So, what better time than to do a little update? Get you guys caught up with the games I've beaten so far this year and some of my favorite pickups from the beginning of the year so far. And again, just apologies, no videos for the past couple weeks, at least long term form ones, because at least last week, you guys noticed something missing right here. Dr. Disrespect is missing from the shelf just from allegations that popped up. I had 2 videos recorded that I was working through editing, and I'm just not skilled enough to want to zoom in and edit it out. So I didn't want to release those to cause any controversy. So if you know what's going on there, you do know it's a sad situation all around. Hope that man gets help. So we'll see what happens, and any victims involved in that situation, I hope they can get some help too. But that's the reason there was no videos last week. The week before, I wanted to release a review on a game that I recently beat, which we'll talk about here. I'll still do the review on it, but I lost my capture footage. It just did not turn out how I wanted it to. So unfortunately, hopefully in a week or two, that'll come out. All right, but with all that out the way, let's dive into how the year has been going. As far as, let's get the pickups out the way first. What have been some of my favorite scores? As you guys know, I'm a big collector, and recently I just been buying up all sorts of lots and stuff that have things I need in it. And there have been some amazing things that we've gathered this year, guys. If you've been keeping up with the channel, the big console lot that started things off with a bang this year. We spent a lot of money on it, but we added a lot of awesome consoles to the collection. We added Sega Saturns, we added TurboGrafx, we added a whole bucket list of stuff that we kind of wanted on the collection shelves. A Virtual Boy. And speaking of, who would have thought that I would have found 2 Virtual Boys this year? It's just been insane. But over here, I just have a couple of the favorite things. One of them being one I showed off, I forgot how long ago, but Turbo, the Super Stunt Squad, of course, going for that full Wii U set and knocking off like a heavier title from it is always feels good. So really glad to have added that to the collection for the Wii U. Then another one you guys saw recently, this game Mole Mania. Like, I did not know it was the rarity that it was. So really cool to add a really cool Game Boy that sought after title, which is actually a really good game. I've been playing it, and unfortunately I found out the first time playing it this needed a new battery in it, but I bought a cheap soldering kit and I was able to replace the battery no problem. So we're booting it up again, and it's a great puzzle game. Really enjoying it. The next ones here are just, it's not like super high value stuff, but it's just stuff that I really like to collect, and it was really awesome to see it in the collection that I bought last week, or just a little small Facebook deal. But these were in there. Unfortunately, that's not going to be one you guys saw because of the footage that it was recorded in, but these 2 are my favorites from that lot. Alien vs Predator Extinction, one that is awesome to come across from the wild. This is the kind of stuff that you just don't see pop up anywhere. It's like you got to go to a show or an expo to get it. And along with that, we have The Thing. Both of those were in that lot, so really cool. Add them to the collection, so really awesome stuff. But of course, I don't think anything's gonna top the TurboGrafx score. After doing the console lot where I added a TurboGrafx with a Turbo CD attachment to it, I didn't think things could get better. And then a Facebook Marketplace deal popped up from a place that's almost 2 hours away, and somehow I was the lucky one to get the deal with all these TurboGrafx games. Just great TurboGrafx titles that I get to add to my collection when I had a console that I didn't have any games for to play, and by some miracle these popped up and I got a killer deal on it. Even wanted to pay the guy more money and he just would not take it, so he hooked me up big time. I don't think anything's going to match that deal from this year. Just awesome stuff, things you never see, stuff that's never going to leave my collection. Just really cool stuff that I was able to find that. All right, so now that we've talked about like some of my favorite pickups, let's talk about the actual gaming, which unfortunately has been very sad. I normally pride myself on being able to finish like between 40 to 50 games a year, and it's just been going down and down and down. I don't know what it is. It's just the excitement about wanting to play, or I am so picky sometimes, guys. I know it sounds stupid. For certain games, if I don't have a certain allotted amount of time, I'm just not gonna really dive into something. I kind of pick up the stuff that's quick to play. But with that being said, I want to try to make an effort to really play more the second half of the year. Because so far, looking at my list, I've only completed 9 games. I know some of you guys are like, hey, that's more than a game a month. But when I'm looking at people like, I really love Steph Sedef's channel. Like, I've been following her for years, subscribed for years. And I think she's up to like the mid-20s of how many games she has completed. She's just been killing it. And we're not talking short games. It's RPGs. She's all over the place. My list, it's pathetic. So far this year, I've beaten Portal 2 co-op with my son and single player. So I did both modes for that. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, Last Epoch, Guitar Man, Black on the PS2, Aladdin on the Super Nintendo, Tornado Outbreak, which is the game I'm going to do a review for, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and just today I finished Castlevania Legends on the Nintendo Online that you can download for Game Boy stuff. So that is it. It has been a very, very slim year, but I've been playing Dragon Quest VII still trying to finish that game. And things that eat up a lot of time, I always go back to Diablo 4. So a new season for season 4 had started, and I think, did season 3 kind of linger into this year too? I can't remember. But 2 seasons of that. Last Epoch had an official launch with the season. So it's just these ARPGs, like, I really sink a lot of time into. So I love to sit there, farm, and get loot. It's my favorite kind of style of games are these looters. So I just been diving into those. So I go back and boot those up rather than starting off something else. Elden Ring, in order to prepare for the DLC, I started a whole brand new character like a month before. So I was playing through the game again with another character so I could have 3 characters to experience the DLC with. So I finished it with one that was more of a strength build. So I'll go into my next playthrough with that. With another character, probably my magic user. So it's been very slow, but I mean, the quality games, like, man, playing through Elden Ring again, that game is just so good, guys. It is so incredible. And experiencing the DLC for that first time, it was like experiencing the game all over again. It just took me back to like 2 years ago, man, when that game launched and just how great it was. I know a lot of people were saying they were having trouble with the game and its difficulty in the DLC. I actually didn't think it was too bad. Trying to think who I had to spend the longest amount of time on, and I think it might have been Mesmer who killed me the most. But other than that, I don't want to get spoilers to final bosses or anything, but I still thought it was a great DLC. It was awesome. So I mean, it stinks. That's the end of Elden Ring now. There's not going to be any more for it. It'll be the next From Software game that comes out. So who knows? I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4 years from now is when we might start seeing stuff from it, but I can't wait. I love From Software stuff, so I hope they just keep continuing to pump this stuff out. Yeah, other than that, just the gaming has been really slow. It's been more about focusing on building the collection and getting all the games I want, and then the gaming is kind of taking a back seat. So I kind of want to reverse that for the second half. I want to finish, still want to try to get at least 30 games in, so we'll see. We're going to try to do it, but there's still a lot more I want to collect for too. Hopefully we will have another local show that I'll get to set up for, so I can show you guys my experience from that again. There's also Portland Retro Gaming Expo again this year. I know from my experience before, I didn't think I was going to go back, but I was contemplating setting up a half booth there, just to start to get rid of some of this stuff, guys. Just some of these things like my guides and soundtracks and stuff that are just harder to want to get rid of and just move to want to ship and list on eBay would just be so much easier to do at a big show like that. And I think people would love them and they'd want to pick them up. So it's been the debate of, do I want to buy a $200 half table to set stuff up? Do I want to make the trip out there? Because if I'm staying there for 2 days, I mean, that's probably looking at investing maybe, who knows, $400 to $500 to go there to just sell things, and maybe I make that back to break even. Those are the things that are tough to juggle, man, for decisions like that. So I don't know. We'll see. My gaming budget's looking pretty good, so maybe I just want to go up there and spend some money and buy games. But again, from last time, it just did not seem worth it. So, and I'm able to find really cool things like out here in the wild these days. Like, they're turning up. I'm not in a rush, so I can be patient with it. If things take me years to complete, they take me years to complete. But I don't know. That's kind of been my recap for the year. We did move the game room. That was a big transition. Finally got a love seat here for the main TV for me to sit in, and not in a metal chair. So things are going really good. I'm liking the space and how the collection's growing. We're just lacking on the gaming front here. Just the games are, we got to catch up. We got to catch up. So let me know, guys, how has the first half of your year been going? What are you looking forward to the second half of the year? You know, just trying to think about it. I know the Nintendo Direct was pretty cool, but of course my most hyped game doesn't come out till next year. So let's see. I can't even think off the top of my head like what the big titles are for the fall. So you guys let me know down below how your year's been going and what you're looking forward to in the second half of the year. All right, get you guys in the next one.